Cortez or whatever she is. I mean, she's in a totally different universe. It's basically socialism wrapped in ignorance.
It's getting interesting. Florida Republican Ron DeSantis blasting New York's self-proclaimed Democratic socialist. Ocasio-Cortez firing right back with a tweet. Where else, folks? I'm a Puerto Rican woman. It's strange you don't know what that is, given that 75,000 Puerto Ricans have relocated to Florida in the 10 months since Hurricane Maria. But I'm sure these new Florida voters appreciate your comments. DeSantis is running for governor down in Florida. The A-team's ready to go at it. Morgan Ortegas, former Intel analyst for the Treasury Department, former State Department press officer. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Leslie Marshall, syndicated radio host and Fox News contributor, and Howard Kurtz, Fox News media analyst and host of Media Buzz. Okay, DeSantis had his shot. She had his. Then DeSantis came back again with this. Watch.
She was asked, she's complaining about the occupation of Palestine. And so someone's like, well, what do you mean by that? And she's like, well, I don't know. I'm not an expert. Well, wait a minute. You're saying that one of our best allies is occupying some country. There's never been a Palestinian state. You're just repeating these canned left-wing talking points. And you're somehow the savior of the Democratic Party?
The reason why this is relevant is because she's on the road with Bernie Sanders. And where they win is fascinating. It's St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, Wichita. This is a place where you would not find folks really on the far left of the party in terms of ideas going to campaign. What do you think?
So I don't think that Congressman DeSantis should have called her this girl. Like as a woman, a young woman in politics, I don't think any of us ever appreciate being referred to as this girl. But saying that, the substance of what she is saying and preaching, especially about Israel, is pretty much as intolerable as it gets in foreign policy language. Calling it the occupation of Palestine. Israel is our closest ally around the world, and especially in the Middle East. And I think her comments are beyond the pale. And if she is the face for the Democrat Party, I'd say go for it, because that does nothing but help me in my party.
I mean, the Democratic Party does need a young face. And I don't mean an age. They just need somebody new. I mean, quite frankly. But maybe she should do a little homework first.
Well, first of all, I think DeSantis should do some homework. Last time I checked, the Bronx was in New York. Am I right on that? Because that's her constituency. She's not running for governor in the state of Florida. And if you're running, attack who? Your opponent. So I don't understand why he's attacking her. I agree with you. I agree with you on the woman thing. If you look at the composite of the voters in Florida, you have a lot of females. You have a lot of Latinos. You have a lot of Puerto Ricans, Cubans, and other Hispanics. And as somebody who's half Italian, you don't dog that segment of your population, your voter population. So I think he was off the mark. No, I think she has a right to her opinion. And quite frankly, the millennial voters in Israel, and I lived there in 1996, the millennial voters in Israel and in Florida who are Jewish do feel, maybe not occupation, but do feel that the Palestinian population is greatly oppressed, and they're not really in favor of that, the new, younger voter.
All right, why is he dogging
She kind of booted the question during the interview.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But look, Ron DeSantis of Florida is running against this 28-year-old woman from Queens in the Bronx who no one had heard of a month ago, because every member of the Republican Party wants to run against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She has become the face, but her brand of democratic socialism is not going to play in many of these red and swing states. And the media, which built her up into a star, I've got to get a media point in here, giving her a complete pass. I mean, she's called for occupying airports and occupying ICE offices. She admitted she doesn't know anything about geopolitics when she got caught talking about Palestine. And so the whole GOP would love for her to be the symbol of the Democratic Party.
Just to be clear on this, was the back and forth. DeSantis concluded the argument for now by tweeting this. Trust me, socialism wrapped in ignorance is something Floridians from all walks of life reject.
I agree wholeheartedly with the congressman. I will say that something that worries me as a conservative is that the number of millennial voters in the U.S. who do seem to buy into some of these far left arguments. We certainly see it on college campuses. I mean, Charlie Kirk works on this on a daily basis. So as a conservative, we have our work cut out for us to convince young people to vote with the Republican Party and to buy into the conservative ideology. There's a lot of people there now that buy into this, what I consider extreme rhetoric. I was just in Columbia last week, and right across the Columbia,
Missouri.
No, the country. Both in South America.
Columbia, Upper West Side,
And
New
we
York.
see right across the border, we see the effects of socialism in Venezuela. We see people starving to death in Venezuela, coming over to the border into Colombia, where you see democracy, where you see capitalism, where you see freedom. So we have, just to the south of us, we have a picture of what this woman running for Congress wants to see happen in Venezuela versus in Colombia. It's the most stark picture we could draw for our audience, and it's quite scary what's happening in Venezuela.
Let's see what the Trump poll does today in Georgia.
Yeah.
Primary vote today there.
Yes, and of course, once again, the president is getting behind another candidate, and it seems to be working for all those candidates who are getting President Trump behind them.
Here is the tweet. July 18, Brian Kemp's running for governor of the great state of Georgia. The primaries on Tuesday. Brian's tough on crime, strong on the border and illegal immigration. He loves our military and our vets and protects our Second Amendment. I give him my full and total endorsement. He's made quite a comeback politically. You know, when you think about Connor Lamb in Pennsylvania, I think about the election down the southeast in Alabama. The people Trump supports are pulling out wins.
Yeah. We'll see in Florida, because I'm not sure DeSantis is going to, and the president put his support behind him. But I think, for a lot of people, whether they like it or not, midterms are going to be a referendum on Trump. And as you were saying about my party, which everybody thinks is going completely to the left, not entirely. It's kind of a split, which concerns me more so as a Democrat. The Republicans were seeing the same thing. I mean, they're the Republicans who are more moderate, who are not in favor of the president, or backing some of those candidates. We're seeing that in the polls. In Florida, DeSantis is down 12 to 18 points, then he's up. And we see that in Georgia as well. At this time, though, Bill, at this time, Julie, you expect the numbers to get, to the gap to be smaller. And we're seeing that. And I don't think it's just a bump from the president supporting his candidates in Georgia.
Some Republican governors don't like the president getting involved in these party fights. I mean, he has every right to do it. That, for one thing, they often don't get any notice whatsoever. He just tweets that he's backing somebody. And some of them believe that he is backing people who can win a Republican primary but might be weaker general election candidates. We will see about that.
Eric Holder might be running for the White House. Here he is with Stephen Colbert. Listen.
Are you seriously considering throwing your hat into the ring for 2020?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and what I've said is that I'd make a determination sometime early next year.
I think he's running.
Yeah.
It sounds like it.
He's running.
Doesn't it?
Right, he's up in New Hampshire. He wasn't denying it.
I'm also thinking about it. No, just kidding. I mean, clearly when they say I'm thinking about it, I mean, they're planning on running. It'll be interesting, Leslie, because I think that we're going to have 20 people on stage for the Democrat nomination fighting it out.
In the green room?
Fighting it out for the heart and soul of the party.
That's what you had on the Republican platform.
Eric Holder has never run for dog catcher. It is a hard thing to do.
No doubt.
He'll have the Obama baggage, as well as probably the tacit support of the former president. But also,
I think he's consulted with him, too.
Well, they're all going by to get the advice. Sure.
But how does he have the president if Biden's running?
Well, but also, Obama aside,
right?
Kamala Harris, Cory Booker. I mean, I think those are really fresh faces in terms of African American candidates running for. I think Holder would have a tough time. It is not that easy to do this if you've never run for county councilman.
And it's not just running; it's who you're running up against.
Yeah.
And you have. I mean, look. Yeah, I'm a Democrat, and I have said I'm going to vote for whichever Democrat can make this president a one-term president. That's my opinion.
You want a winner?
As a Democrat, I want a winner, and I just don't think that, with all due respect to the former Attorney General, that he is a winner. I do not. All respect to my home state of Massachusetts. Sorry, Senator Warren. No, I don't think she's going to.
There's a reason why
Senator
she's
Sanders,
on the cover
are
of
you
this
watching
magazine?
me? You will not beat Donald Trump. Joe Biden. I've said it, and people laugh at me because of his age. Joe Biden speaks the kind of talk that Donald Trump does. I think he would be great with him in a debate, and I think he would appeal to the voters that really put it over the top for Trump, which is that blue-collar, middle-class, working-class Rust Belt voter.
Biden's
That's
75?
what Joe Biden.
He'll be almost 78 by the time the election.
I know, but Joe Biden.
78 's the new
He's a
40.
great retail politician.
Huge amount of support, and he's not as polarizing as Hillary Clinton was during the election.
He also has
a Democrat that's not polarizing.
He has a tendency to make gaffes, but then again, so does the current president.
But that's because he's real. He's
Quick
Keep it real.
timeout. Paul Ryan's talking on the Hill.